Hi there. Do you know how to protect your retirement assets and your retirement income using an annuity? Well, by the end of this video, I'll make sure you know exactly how to do that before you go signing on that dotted line. My name is Michael Malone, and for the best annuity advice and information, do be sure to subscribe to my channel here, and then also be sure to click on that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload other new videos. Now, there are investment annuities out there that act kind of like, I guess the analogy I like, they act kind of like when you're driving across the Golden Gate Bridge out in San Francisco. As you're driving across that bridge, you've got rails on both sides of the bridge. There are annuities out there that create these similar rails. You may have a rail on one side of the annuity or of the bridge that protects you from the downside in portfolio, whether it's a stock market, mutual fund portfolio, etc. And then you may have a rail on the other side of the bridge that limits the access to those lanes on the outside of the bridge. Now you're probably saying to yourself, what the heck is Mike talking about? When you talk about, let's talk a little bit about the downside rail, the rail on the downside of the bridge or on the downside of your portfolio. In these types of annuities, when you talk about protecting your retirement assets and protecting your retirement income, the protection side of these annuities, on that protection rail, you may be able to protect your portfolio from any loss whatsoever. So if that portfolio drops, say 20%, you're not participating in any of that drop. You may have the opportunity to set it so that you're not going to lose more than 5% when your portfolio drops. So if that portfolio drops by 20%, you're only participating in the first 5% of that loss, or maybe the first 10% of that loss. And by the way, if you'd like to have your retirement assets and your retirement income protected by this type of an annuity, do feel free to click on the link down below to apply to become my client. And after you're done watching this video, I would highly recommend checking out the other video I've created called What is a Guaranteed Income Annuity? In that video, you're going to learn more about what the guaranteed retirement income part of these annuities are, and I'll go ahead and include a link to that for you in the description down below. Now, when learning about these annuities that have the ability to protect your portfolio, your retirement assets, and your retirement income from a loss in the portfolios, it's also important, like I mentioned before, you have a rail on both sides. You have the rail on one side of the Golden Gate Bridge that's protecting your assets from losses, but you also have that other rail that I mentioned that's limiting the lanes that we have access to on that side of the bridge, which in this case is the upside of the performance in the portfolio. So we've protected the downside from a downturn in the market, but we also are only going to be able to participate in a certain amount of the upside of that portfolio. Again, whether it's a mutual fund portfolio, an index portfolio, etc. So what that really means is, let's say we're sitting in the S&P 500 and the S&P 500 goes up that year. The rail on that side may say, well, the S&P 500 went up 10% this year, but our rail said we were only going to participate in 5% of that growth. So in that essence, because we've decided that we wanted to protect the assets on the downside, when the portfolio went up 10%, we actually only participated in 5%. So as you can see, when it comes to protecting your retirement assets, protecting your retirement income, there are annuities out there that can do just that by protecting the downside of the portfolio that you're in. Maybe you don't participate in any of the downside. Maybe you just participate in some of that. But when we're putting that protection in place so that we're not affected by a downturn in the portfolio, you also have to remember and recognize and realize that we may be giving up part of the gain on the upside as well. So you really do have those rails, like going across the Golden Gate Bridge, you really do have those rails on the performance of your portfolio. So you know that on any annual given basis, that your portfolio is going to perform somewhere between those rails. And I would remind you once again to be sure to check out the other video that I mentioned that I've created called What is a Guaranteed Income Annuity? Because the guaranteed income part of these annuities is another part that I haven't gotten into here. We're really just chatting about how do we protect our retirement assets and our retirement income from a loss in the market. The guaranteed income annuity video will walk you through the other benefits that are very often attached to these types of annuities such as something called guaranteed retirement income. So in these types of annuities, not only are you setting rails on the performance of your portfolio, you may also be attaching a benefit called guaranteed retirement income. That guaranteed retirement income, just real briefly, you'll learn more about it in that video, but real briefly what that guaranteed retirement income means is that once you turn on the income of these annuities when you retire, you're guaranteed on a contractual basis from the insurance company that you are going to have retirement income for the rest of your life through all of your retirement. And I would highly recommend checking out that video. It'll dig a little bit more into that for you. And as I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to look into having this type of an annuity, to protect your retirement assets, to protect your retirement income, to create that guaranteed retirement income that I just mentioned, if you'd like to have that type of annuity uniquely put in place for you, do feel free to click on the link down below to apply to become my client. And if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel here, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and I hope something good happens to you out there today.